Hey, eighth graders. You should have just been upfront working with the myth about Pandora and Prometheus and using the annotation guide. As you're watching this video, every time a multiple choice question pops up on Educanon, that's the time that you should take to annotate your text using your annotation guide and all of those symbols. So that's a really nice way to keep you annotating and keep you in line with the amount of annotations that need to happen, because when we collect these packets, they need to be completely annotated correctly to show that you are following instructions and doing your independent work to the best of your ability. So we're going to take a start here with Pandora was very happy. And I'm not going to do annotations with you because you should have just been practicing this with your teacher, but there are going to be some multiple choice questions popping up, especially about vocabulary. Pandora was very happy in her new home, and even Prometheus, when he saw her, was pleased with her loveliness. She had brought with her a golden casket, which Jupiter had given her at parting, and which he had told her held many precious things. But wise Athena, the queen of the air, had warned her never to open it, nor look at the things inside. They must be jewels, she said to herself. And then she thought of how they would add to her beauty if only she could wear them. Why did Jupiter give them to me if I should never use them, nor so much as look at them? She asked. The more she thought about the golden casket, the more curious she was to see what was in it. And every day she took it down from its shelf and felt of the lid and tried to peer inside of it without opening it. Why should I care for what Athena told me? She said at last. She is not beautiful, and jewels would be of no use to her. I think that I will look at them. At any rate, Athena will never know. Nobody else will ever know. She opened the lid a very little just to peep inside. All at once there was a whirring, rustling sound, and before she could shut it down again, out flew 10,000 strange creatures with death-like faces and gaunt and dreadful forms, such as nobody in all the world had ever seen. They fluttered for a little while about the room and then flew away to find dwelling places wherever there were homes of men. They were diseases and cares, for up to that time, mankind had not had any kind of sickness, nor felt any troubles of mind, nor worried about what the morrow might bring forth. These creatures flew into every house, and without anyone seeing them, nestled down in the bosoms of men and women and children, and put an end to all their joy. And ever since that day, they have been flitting and creeping, unseen and unheard, over all the land, bringing pain and sorrow and death into every household. If Pandora had not shut the lid so quickly, things would have gone much worse. But she closed it just in time to keep the last of the evil creatures from getting out. The name of this creature was Foreboding, and although he was almost half out of the casket, Pandora pushed him back and shut the lid so tight that he could never escape. If he had gone out into the world, men would have known from childhood just what troubles that were going to come to them every day of their lives, and they never would have had any hope, joy, or hope so long as they lived. And this was the way in which Jupiter sought to make mankind more miserable than they had been before Prometheus had befriended them. So as those multiple choice questions were popping up, we needed to be annotating the text. Make sure before you move down to this chart that you have all the annotation boxes filled in and that you've used all of the annotation guide symbols. So check that now. And now we're going to move on to this, our character traits and theme box. So our first example is the character of Jupiter. Jupiter is vengeful. Jupiter is angry. Jupiter is sneaky. I want to connect these character traits to a theme that you've seen in the novel. So thinking about the fact that he wants revenge and that he's going to do it in a sneaky way, I'm thinking that a good theme might have to do with God seeking revenge or powerful people seeking revenge. So revenge is not always found where you expect. And what that means is that this revenge that he comes to give to mankind is through a woman, through a lovely and a beautiful woman. So it's not what they expected. Revenge is not always found where you would expect. He kind of sneaks it up on them, and he does this in a way where they don't know that it's coming. What you have here are Athena, Prometheus, and Pandora. If the theme for Athena is take the advice of the good and the wise, I want you to think of what character traits show that theme. If the theme for Prometheus is never trust a known enemy, meaning he trusted that Jupiter's gift of Pandora was a good gift because of how beautiful she was, I want you to think about what traits Prometheus has that make that theme easy to find or understand. And then finally, what are Pandora's most important traits that show a theme in the text? So I want you to take this time to answer these questions. Great. So what you should be now working on is your exit ticket. You have 4 multiple choice questions that talk about theme, evidence, character traits, and evidence. If you finish this multiple choice exit ticket, you can start moving on to the writing extension. Good luck.